Hey, good morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update, brought to you by Consumers Energy. And let's get on to it. This morning, I found some areas below freezing, just a few limited areas. The freeze warning that was pretty widespread across west central, southwest lower, not really warranted as I thought because of the lake effect clouds. But now, coming up over the next couple of days, it will get colder during the morning hours. So this is for tomorrow morning, and I think it's valid. There's a freeze warning in effect in the far south so far. Cold water right along there and into northern Indiana, northern Ohio. Over the next couple of mornings, like I said, it will be more clear, and so temperatures will be able to drop considerably. We'll show that to you in here in just a moment. But first off, we'll start with the radar, and what you'll notice, let me get the whole state in there. What you'll notice is that there is another area of lake effect rain, what I call a spoke around an upper level low pressure system, and that's in Alpena to Rogers City, Sheboygan, dropping south. So you'll see that on the radar forecast swing through in the afternoon into the east and southeastern part of lower Michigan. Let's say hi to some folks. Good morning to Lana Mole and Chuck Seafeld. Thanks for watching. Greg Keller, good morning to you. And Diana Shasky, good morning. This is the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Consumers Energy. All right, so now we go to what I like to call weather fantasy land. Oh, wait a minute here. Are you seeing me? Hopefully you are. Looks like everything is working properly, but my preview of you is not. It's hung up. So hopefully you're seeing the maps. I do have I have a pretty strong internet signal. We've been having a little bit of issues because the Charter's been upgrading in other parts of the area, and we get downgraded at the time they upgrade. Or spectrum, whatever you call it nowadays. All right, so radar forecast. Radar forecast, and is everybody seeing the maps? Let me hit my... Give me just a second here to update this. Okay, well, I'm not going to worry about it then. Everybody's saying yes. All right, so radar forecast. My point is, this afternoon, the lake effect will reinvigorate in the thumb, down into the north side of Detroit, down maybe into Oakland County. You get spurts of showers, maybe even into the northeastern part of Detroit. Also, it looks like a pretty solid lake effect band develops on a north wind right down the pipe of Lake Michigan into the very southwest corner and maybe off of Grand Traverse Bay too. So minimal coverage area-wise on the rain, but if you get underneath these bands of rain and possibly even a little bit of snow or grapple, which is kind of a melted snow pellet, let's say, you could get pretty wet, but they'll be limited. All right, so here's one little guts of meteorology for you that you don't get on TV. This is the temperature at what we call 850 millibars, about 5,000 feet up in the atmosphere. We use it for lake effect. And as you see, as we go through the morning, the colder upper level temperatures are dropping southward into lower Michigan, and that's what stimulates more lake effect along with the afternoon quote-unquote heating. So then it builds instability. Warmer at the ground, colder aloft, unstable, gets the precipitation process going. And I just showed you that. And just for fun, Let's do a snowfall map, snowfall forecast map. You see a couple little spots, Cadillac, Lake City, maybe the tip of the thumb. Probably won't happen, but what that indicates is that it's cold enough aloft that this good model thinks that some snow could mix in. So once the lake effect situation breaks down, the temperatures warm aloft and it kills off that temperature contrast. That'll happen on Wednesday. Once that breaks down, then it looks like a fairly dry and warmer forecast as we go into the weekend, and possibly even part or much of next week. I will be honest that at this time of the year, maybe 7-8 days out is about the range of confidence. So here we are on Thursday, and we'll look at this closer, and it's dry, and the southwest wind is coming back, and the weekend looks really, really nice, I would say. And then we go into next week, we're still into a southerly flow. A storm system was trying to come toward us, just kind of gets killed out. And then, again, 9-10 days out, do we believe that? Not necessarily. But if that storm system were to come through, then look to the west of it. Here would come another ridge of warm weather. So here's a little bit closer of a look for you. And again, just the limited coverage of lake effect today. Then Wednesday should be dry, and we go right on into Friday, and a great looking warm weekend for this time of the year. We're not back to 85 and 90, and you're running around in your bathing suit, but we're back to 65 to 70 and maybe into the 70s at some point from Friday into early next week. Here's your upper air flow. So this is a good thing. You know, I have another business. It's called farmerweather.com. It's totally ag-based weather for farmers. I get to tell them what they want to know. When's it going to rain? When's it going to quit raining? What's the wind going to do? What's the long range look like? Stuff like that. And I've got them trained to look at the upper airflow, and I'm trying to get you trained too, so you know what a strong storm system looks like in the upper air and what it doesn't look like. And so that's why I kind of drill this into you, that this is the most important thing. I always drill into you that if I'm the skipper, no, if I'm the professor on Gilligan's Island, and I came up with this idea, hey, maybe there will be a storm system that will carry us back to where we came from. I'm going to ask for one map, this map, if that's all I get. So 500 millibars, we were looking at 150 millibars, 500 millibars, 15,000 feet up. There's your upper level low and our cold flow right now. And then I told you it's going to warm up and look nice for the weekend. That's what a nice weekend upper air pattern looks like. Nice if you want sunshine, enjoy the fall colors and fairly mild temperatures. That's Friday afternoon. That's a warm pattern. We don't warm as quickly at this time of the year, so I don't know if we'll make 80 degrees. But again, if I just had this, I'd say, oh, Michigan's going to be in the 70s on Friday. And then it breaks down a little bit on the weekend, but here comes that storm system. And you can see that out to the west, Monday, it looks pretty strong. It's a closed upper level low. By the time it gets to us, it's just an open wave that slips on through and moves on to the east. And then there you see the ridging once again. And I like to drill this home too. This is the ensemble of that same forecast. It looks a little bit different, but instead of just taking the one usually best run, and it's not always the best, we like to take 31 iterations 31 tweaks of that run and average them together. And if you start seeing the tweaks look the same out in the future, you know it's probably going to happen. So this is the weekend upper air. 31 tweaks say, yeah, it's going to be a warm upper level ridge, a beautiful pattern. 31 tweaks say that that storm system will weaken and open up and shift on through. And then we're out at October 26th. And what this would say to me, now we're out to October 30th, what this would say to me is that we're continuing to progress the polar jet stream southward. It may not be colder than normal, it might not be significantly warmer than normal, and we're getting into a faster west-east flow that will bring storm systems blowing through about every 3 or 4 days, but nothing looks extreme. So tomorrow morning, we're probably colder in Jackson, probably close to freezing. We're colder in Shiawassee and Owasso. We're colder in Flint at 36, depending on if it clears. And then Thursday morning, I think the cold shifts into the southeast part of the state. Detroit and Ann Arbor could have some frost, perhaps, in cold spots. And Caro and Sandusky and Cass City, and the northeast shoreline too. And then the southwest winds take over, and we would be done with frost. So my advice is, if you feel like you have some tomatoes that you still want to leave on the vine, you don't have room for them. That's what we usually run out of this time of the year, is room on the countertop. You could cover it up, and they will ripen next week. Kendall Bailey, here's a big long question. Let's see here what you say. Part of a Michigan disaster team, and we're headed out to deal with downed trees and stuff in Florida. Great. Is it supposed to rain next week? In Florida, not so much. They're actually going to get their first cold front come through, and that may start to cool off the Gulf of Mexico and start to ratchet down the threat of any additional hurricanes. So we're cool today, only near 50, even 40s in the north, and then tomorrow tack on about 5 to 55, and then Thursday, let's go into the low 60s, and then Friday, let's go to the mid 60s at least, if not 70 degrees, and Saturday, upper 60s to near 70, and then Sunday, Monday, 70s, Tuesday, 70s, Wednesday, and then Thursday, of course, 10 days out. So we're kind of on the weather temperature roller coaster. We're pretty chilly for the next 2 days. You need to coat it in the morning and a jacket definitely in the afternoon. You need to dodge a few lake effect rain showers. And you might even go, was that a snowflake? And it certainly could be, at least in northern lower Michigan, away from the lake. But then the weekend, peak fall color, warm temperatures. So get yourself a plan to get out and enjoy our lovely great state of Michigan. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. This is the MLive Morning Weather Update, brought to you by Consumers Energy. Take care.